Guten Tag and bienvenidos, and thank you for joining us for another edition of Über Cinco, the podcast game show where we deep dive top fives. Today's episode is all about frugality and fiscal responsibility. We're saving all our earnings to invest in cryptocurrency these days, so no more frivolous purchases. Our contestants are going cheap and will reveal and defend their top $5 store purchases. That's right, it's a celebration of all those little essentials you didn't know you needed until you find a 99-cent price tag on them. Whether it's Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar here in America, or Poundland and Pound Stretcher in the UK, and no, I'm not making that up, what better thrill is there than loading 2 overstuffed shopping bags into the trunk of your car knowing you spent less than it cost to buy an appetizer at TGI Fridays? Let's meet today's 2 cheapskates. First, a man who's so cheap...
How cheap is he?
He's so cheap that he has to use the jaws of life to open his wallet anytime it's his round at the bar. Mitch Brakeman. Hello, Mitch.
Hi there. Tip number 1, bring a little bit of glass with you when you go to the bar. Drop a little in your beer. Boom, free drinks. Hey.
And facing Mitch today is a man who's so cheap...
How cheap is he?
He's so cheap that his greatest dream in life is to have a 3,000 square foot house with a semi-finished basement. It's Brian Ernst. Hello, Brian.
Yeah. I'm a little jealous that I didn't go across the pond to go into a pound stretcher. That's where I would like to go. Sounds so sexual and violent.
All right, if this is your first foray into the den, or if you need a friendly reminder, let's wake you out of hibernation with a quick rundown of the rules. Each player in the den has spent time with today's topic, arranging their top 5 answers in order of importance. Those answers have been submitted to the host, who will moderate the game, awarding points to the player with the most poignant answer.
Starting with their number 5 choice, we will move up the ranks until we reach each of their top answers. But if both contestants happen to have the same answer on their list, well, we have an
Uber stare down.
You will hear the official Über Cinco siren, and both players must reveal their answer and what number they ranked their submission. An Uber stare down is all or nothing, with one player earning 3 points. After all answers have been read, the host will reveal the final score.
Of course, as the host, I'm entitled to institute a house rule, and this week I've brought back my beloved Card of Mystery.
What's on it? Tell us. What's on it? Tell us.
I've written a phrase on the back of this card, and whomsoever utters that phrase the least will receive a bonus point.
Oh.
And don't forget to stick around to the end for my Fast 5, where I will rattle off my definitive list of the top 5 movements.
Oh,
Movements.
Wow. Oh, I like that one.
All right, both today's main topic and Fast 5 are audience submissions. Thank you to Zach Kraft for submitting the dollar store finds, and to Steve Moore for top 5 movements. If you have a topic you would like to hear on the show, head over to bizbear.biz and send us your submission. If it makes us giggle, you might just hear it on a future episode. Mitch, you won the pre-show 100 meters moonwalk in a record time of 9.62 seconds. Just 400ths off Usain Bolt's forwards 100 meters record. Very impressive. So you will go first. Please hit us with your number 5.
Thank you so much. Now, I traveled a little bit to find the perfect dollar store. I ended up at Dollar Tree in the Addison Street Mall, just west of California here in Chicago. I took a peek at Dollar Hound, yeah, but they didn't have a great selection, and Mrs. $1, not everything I was dreaming for, but I was really hoping that give me $1, give you a crap would have helped, but again they didn't have much there. So Dollar Tree, thank you very much for this. But my number 5 is a can of Parva brand pumpkin. Where's the applause? Why isn't everyone going, oh my God, a can of pumpkin? That's incredible.
Is this like a pumpkin puree?
It's a pumpkin puree. It's dusty. It's the last one on the shelf. It's at about ankle height when I saw it. I went, oh my God, that's so useful. And why is it so useful? Are you asking?
That is exactly what I'm asking.
yes.
Yeah. What is it? Is it because I'm making pie? No, because
Maybe.
pumpkin pie isn't that good a pie. It's overrated, and you should be making lemon meringue instead or a fruit crumble. I buy pumpkin because my little guy at home, sometimes his poops get really hard. And I'm not talking about like my son or like me in a weird third person thing. It's my dog, Waldo. And pumpkin is great for little puppies who like to eat a bunch of shit off the ground like he does, who love to adventure, who love to stick their snouts where they shouldn't put them, who love to chew on. He loves mulch. Fresh mulch, man. Oh my God. That's like me seeing a fresh banquet of like pulled pork and pickles, you know. This guy will get his nose in anywhere. So the pumpkin helps his little tum-tum, you know, just create those nice little perfectly shaped doo-doos that he leaves behind when we go on walks. And honestly, without pumpkin around, our little guy is a little harder to deal with. But when he's feeling good, when he's feeling confident, when he's not, you know, full of his own excrement, a little more annoying, a little more, you know, pay attention to me. So pumpkin is an essential part of my puppy's diet. And thank you, Part of a Brand of Pumpkin, for giving me pumpkin where the ingredients of it are just pumpkin. You know, that's all I asked for. That's all I'm looking for. And that's all I got. So
all natural.
So is there anything you've ever used pumpkin for where you consume it yourself, or is this simply a canine delicacy in your house?
I have put pumpkin, of course, in pie when I've been forced to make a pumpkin pie by the terrible American social standards of Thanksgiving. I've also I've put pumpkin in cookies before. Again, the terrible American social standard of pumpkin cookies around Thanksgiving and or Halloween. But no, not
You've
really.
truly been oppressed.
I know, right? If I'm cooking with pumpkin, I'm just gonna go butternut squash because that's easier to cut and easier to prepare than a whole fucking pumpkin. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear, but that's, you know. So yeah, no. Right now, pumpkin. I put a little pumpkin in a bowl for him, little frozen peas on top. He slurps that shit right up after a nice lunch. I put it in his homemade dog treats that I make for him. A little carrot, little ginger, little pumpkin. You know, some flour, some oats. That my boy loves that. So
You make homemade dog treats.
I make homemade dog treats.
You're that guy now?
I'm outing myself. I'm outing
Oh
myself
my.
as a gourmet dog parent. Don't worry. No, don't worry. I'm not nice to him all the time. I'm mean to him too. Like, you know, I give him tough love too. I'm not just pampering him at all moments. So
Describe tough love towards Waldo. Give us a scenario.
He picks up because, you know, I live in not Wrigleyville, Sopoco. I live in Sopoco, so people litter on a pretty regular basis near our house. So he picks up a styrofoam cup. I'm trying to get it out of his mouth. He loves to just chew on anything he can get in his mouth. So I'm trying to get it out of his mouth. He won't open his mouth. I'm trying to open his mouth. He won't give it up. And I'm just thinking, dog, you're gonna fucking die. This is, you know, styrofoam. This isn't gonna go well for you. And then so I grab him by the scruff of the neck, give him a little tap. You know, I know I'm describing little dog abuse here, but and then he opens his mouth and I get the styrofoam cup out. But so I'm not proud of that. You know, sometimes I try and scare him too when he's being a real little shit. So I'll have him come around a corner and I'll kind of like I used to scare you, Nathan, when we used to live together. He used to do those prank scares. So
my all-time favorite being when you changed your ringtone to just this blood-curdling scream that you'd recorded.
I need to do that to Waldo. He would hate that.
That was terrifying. You got yourself with it one time because you had forgotten it was there. It was early in the morning and you were on the couch and your phone rang. It was you. I think you recorded yourself screaming.
Yep. Yeah. It was, and I can scream, I tell you what. So I'm not going to do it here. But
it was a real window shatterer. Okay, well, you've given me a lot to think about here. So let's compare this to Brian's. Brian, please give me your number 5.
Yeah.
This is going to be a slam dunk because I know Mitch didn't even think about this one. And of course, I'm talking about a hardcover copy of The Long Game by Mitch McConnell. So this is the best dollar store find because obviously, how else are you going to find a bestseller for that cheap anywhere else? You pick up this book, you look at it. One, you're terrified by the creepy smile on his face. Again, for the audience watching at home, I'm going to hold that up for you. Listeners, you're just going to have to picture the turtle man yourself. So not only does it have a new foreword by President Donald J. Trump and an afterword by the author himself, this is the cheapest fire starter you're going to find in the store. You get more lights per page than any matchbook. It is the best example of a non-self-help book you can find. And it teaches you that what a ghostwriter is and how there are bad people in every profession. So a lot of lessons being learned from this one little item. Now, this is the only object I actually didn't purchase, hence the printout that I held up for the viewing audience. I couldn't bring myself to buy this because I just didn't want to give any money to this man. But it is a really good dollar store find for those who really do not have the fire starter at home, because I have plenty. Sure. Politico actually did a piece on the 7 must-read passages from this waste of trees. And I am going to read this in its entirety. It's one paragraph. At this point, this book came out in 2016, which means that he's probably had over 40 years in politics at this point. Of the top 7 must-read passages, one of them is about him running for student council president at DuPont Manual High School in Louisville. Oh, God. Ugh. A young Mitch McConnell at DuPont ran relentlessly for student council president with 2 key ingredients of any successful campaign: star endorsements and hard work. McConnell solicited the support of popular cheerleaders and talented jocks to propel his name ID over the other contenders. McConnell also made sure he contacted each voter, even the underclassmen often overlooked in these campaigns. And this is the only presidential campaign he's ever won. But over 40 years in politics, this was one of the 7 must-read passages of this dollar store find.
Freshmen are people too.
God damn it.
Except when you actually get office, you just throw that out the window and you don't need that anymore. That's not true anymore.
Jesus Christ.
I have seen that at multiple Dollar Trees. And the fact that it's also hardcover makes it even funnier. And there's one Dollar Tree I walked into where it was on it was like in the pedestal. Like if you're walking into a Barnes and Noble and they have, here's our new releases. They had a whole display of these at a Dollar Tree once. And I was like, that symbolizes everything that I need to know.
If it's hardcover, they have to be losing money on this. So do you think they actually tried to sell them and realized nobody, like, we're just going to cut our losses and sell them at $1 because this was a disaster? I hope that's what happened.
Because we don't have enough space in his garage to hold the rest of these boxes. We got to get rid of them. It's just the fact that there's any book in a dollar store is crazy. That's not like a coloring book or a massive reprint of a Bible, which you can always find.
If I was
that makes sense.
If I was Elaine Chow, I would just buy up all the extra copies, because that's got to be cheaper than buying bedding for his turtle habitat, and changing that. Just run that through the shredder. You already run all your secret documents through, and boom, you've got turtle cage stuff forever. So.
Exactly. So there you go. My number 5, a copy of The Long Game.
That's a good one. And just for the image alone of a very lonely and sad Mitch McConnell opening his garage and having half of it just piled to the brim with boxes of this book that he's trying to unload. That's going to be 3 points, Brian. And Mitch, I'm so grateful that you managed to squeeze in the phrase "perfectly shaped doo-doos." That was lovely. But for admitting that you make homemade dog treats, I could only give you 1 point. That's all I can do.
I support that decision wholeheartedly.
But you have a chance to redeem yourself right now with your number 4. Lay it on me.
Absolutely. This is my number 4. I found my creativity was spiked with this item, and I never seen it before. I thought they were really cool, and I immediately wanted to play with it. And actually, I have it here for those watching at home. Let me grab it here from my shelf. These are really cool little things called Make It blocks. And you can stack them. It looks like they connect together, and I'm thinking I could make myself a little meat smoking shack, if you will, or maybe I could make my family a cabin, something like that. But these blocks you build and they connect together, and I felt so jealous of the kids that were in the store near me at the time, because I was like, you guys got to have make it blocks as a child, and I never got these. I've never seen these before, and there's fat pieces. They're like 2x4s. There's some 1x4s. There's 2x2s. There's 1x2s. So there's long pieces. There's fat pieces. There's short pieces. So you can build just about anything that your imagination can kind of wrap around. And yeah, and I thought these were, I think they're very cool. My set is green, so maybe I'm building, a little army hut for my fellow infantrymen to take warmth in, during a cold battle, maybe something like that. Whatever kind of your imagination can go to, make it blocks are there to make it happen. So I thought these are really cool. What?
So you're not fenced in by the tyranny of the instruction booklet that Legos come with. This is just an open world. I'm
not talking about waffles. These are make it blocks. You said Egos. These are make it. I don't know what these are. Make it blocks here. So, but why would you bring up waffles when I'm talking about building like make it blocks here? I don't get it.
Point taken. So what? Okay. So I noticed the package you haven't opened it yet. I was hoping you would have a demonstration, a completed set. What's the first thing you are going to build?
Well, here, have you guys ever seen YouTube before?
Yes.
Yeah. So on there they have these videos called unboxing videos, and this is an
Is this the first unboxing podcast?
Yes, this is. I know it's a visual medium normally, but I'm going to unbag this real quick. And I like that it comes in a bag. I don't know. I just like that that's easy access, that kind of thing. So you can just, yeah. So right now in my hand,
there's like 10 pieces in there for people who aren't watching the video.
No, there's I've got 7 in my hand, and there's probably another 15 in there, so 22 maybe. And they
quick math.
Thank you. Quick math bonus, yes. And they link up together. They just hook up. So look at this. I put a 2x4 on top of a 2x4, and then a 4-on-1 on top of that. Oh. We have some stairs, some easy walk stairs, a lot of run, little rise, perfect for a library or a municipal building. Man, that's nice.
A lot of run, little rise.
This is look at I put a turn on the stairs. Look at that. I just took another fatty 2x4, turned it 90 degrees. More quick math.
Now it's an MC Escher drawing.
Thank you very much. It's hands drawing hands. So I just love these little things. I've never seen these before. I've never seen blocks that connect like this before, and I kind of wish my dad, who's an architect, would have, got me some make it blocks when I was a kid. Maybe I would have followed his footsteps. Who knows? But yeah, so that's my number 4. I just love that you can build whatever you want. Actually, if I take this off, I'm attaching a 2x4 skinny to a fat 1x4, and now it's like a little. And you turn it sideways. Ooh, that's a little pistol. Oh, stop where you are. The bank gets its money back now. So that kind of thing.
Riveting audio content.
Yeah.
The bank gets its money back. Are you the feds in your make it blocks fantasy?
No, I'm actually the hero local cop who stops the big city money heist ring from coming to my local town and gutting our economy. So, yep,
nice.
And Andy Griffith.
I love the optimism contained here. This is
thank you.
That's really beautiful and innocent and sweet. Brian, what is your counter? What's your number 4?
Easy. Mine, I forgot to mention earlier that, Mitch, you said you traveled all the way to the corner of Addison and Sacramento for your Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
I drove all the way to Washington, Illinois, 2 hours and 21 minutes southwest to go to this Dollar Tree.
So you spent more money on gas than what you spent on?
Absolutely. It cost way more round trip than what I got in terms of items. And I picked up the Good Glass.
Oh.
This is a giant mug. It's supposed to be for beer, but this is for mainly housing my iced colas at the computer, and it's great for slurping. Now, you're supposed to hold it at the handle at the side with the thumb at the top. Everyone knows what a classic beer mug looks like. But this is the one where you can slide your hand in there and really get to that cola. And just the build quality of this. Listen to this, folks. That's glass. That's hard glass. You can't. That's a solid piece. It's not dinging. It's not ringing. That's a solid piece of glass right there for $1. You can you can get your. And I look cool through it.
How badly I wanted it to shatter when you did that.
No, I can squeeze it hard. This thing is sturdy. You guys don't even know. You can't even know it till you feel it. So go to aisle 9 at your local Dollar Tree, pick up the Good Glass, feel it, and make sure you walk out with it, because there's 1,000,001 beverages that can go in this that will feel good in it.
Yeah.
But the best ones are with ice. That's all I'm saying. This is a good ice glass next to your doing this.
How many ounces is that?
Well, like most Dollar Tree items, it doesn't say.
Okay, sure.
Nothing has a volume on it, except for this one on the sticker, 26.5 ounces.
Oh, that's an odd amount.
Nice, yeah. Nice round number. That's like a biblical measurement, like the cubit or
or a freaking marathon. It's just over a marathon.
Wow.
I feel like they made one and they forgot to measure it. They just kind of threw one together and then they were like, well, we better measure it now. And then that's what they're all going to be.
Template's done. Yeah. Move on to production.
I have a very similar mug in my apartment. It came with the apartment. They literally, I moved in.
Cheaper than mine. Fair enough.
There was one thing in the apartment and it was the mug, and it was where I'm on the top floor of an old building. So, heat rises. So in the summer, it gets pretty toasty up here. And one of the windows is broken. It doesn't stay up. And so this enormous mug, very similar to the one you have, nice and sturdy. So it has been propped up underneath one of the windows and just holds the window open for some ventilation. So
1,000,001 uses, folks, for the Good Glass. Prop in your window, slurping your thirsties. Get the Good Glass, man. That's what I'm saying.
Shit.
The Good Glass. Okay. Yes. All right. Mitch.
Yep.
The wide-eyed optimism and the world of possibilities that you were envisioning with your make it blocks. Mm-hmm. You can have no less than 3 points. I love to see when there's that twinkle in your eye, that belief that anything is possible. That's what I want to see from you every day. So, you've warmed my heart. So 3 points to you. And then, Brian, the beauty here is the simplicity. So, and you reminded me of, you hit close to home, literally in my home, the most important thing. And I'm not going to take this glass with me. When I move out, I'm leaving it here. I'm going to pay it forward onto the next tenant. So you're going to get 3 points as well. And with that, Mitch, please name your number 3.
No problem. Now this one doesn't have a nice ring to it. Because with make it blocks, you can make it happen, But this reminds me of my childhood, kind of like make it blocks did, but it kind of takes my childhood and it just spins it like 88 degrees and puts it on a new axis kind of thing. And that is, I found at the dollar store strawberry flavored hard candies, and they're the exact same ones that my grandma used to always keep.
That's right. This is an Uber stare down. It's not exactly the same, but Brian also had a candy related item. Brian, what was your number 3?
Mine was the Candy Cross.
Oh.
All right, that is a chocolate cross. I believe that is Easter themed. We will return to you in a bit. Mitch, please give us the rest of your defense of your hard candy strawberries.
So Grandma Betty had beautiful, beautiful glass dishes that served her candy.
Wait, Brian, why is it funny that his grandmother's named Betty? My grandma was named Betty.
I know, it's just the perfect grandma name, and I wasn't expecting it to be so perfect. I'm like, Grandma Betty, that's such a great name. It's perfect.
Well,
all right, fair enough. It
was a sympathy laugh. I wasn't angry at it. I love that there's a Betty. There's two Bettys out there. It's amazing.
Thank you. I love Betty too. So Grandma Betty had beautiful glass dishes, lots of ornamentation on her glass dishes that served her regular candies. And she wasn't one of those Werther's grandparents, so it wasn't that. But she had the strawberry hard candies was one of her candies that were always available to you as a grandchild. And my grandma also always wanted us to be both, putting some meat on our bones, but also like losing some of that meat at the same time. It was kind of like whatever time of the year she saw you, she was like, maybe you could gain a little, maybe you could lose a little. And so it was always a confusing thing when there was just always candy available. And she would kind of, press it upon you. But these strawberry hard candies are delicious. They first start with like a normal, sucking hard candy, but then they're very soft and chewy on the inside, which I like very much. And I never had these at home. Like, I only had them at Grandma's house. So I kind of thought like these are special, like small town strawberry hard candies. Maybe she gets them from the magical candy shop from Lake Wobegon. Never really knew. But now I know that, I can just find them at the dollar store, and it kind of takes off the like beautiful, gold gilding from my childhood to think that my grandma didn't always spend top dollar on the candies she would try and shove in her mouths whenever we visited. And it made me a little sad, a little wistful. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going to buy my own bag. I'm going to recreate Grandma Betty time here. And I don't have a beautiful glass dish like she had. And so I couldn't do that part. But then so I had a couple. And it's not the same. It's way different when your grandma's like, oh, you want a little candy? And then pushes the bowl to you. And you're like, yeah, I will take a little candy. Thank you, Grandma. And it's like it's less special when you just have a bag on your bedside night table. That's not the right word for that. I said that wrong. Bedside nightstand next to your bedside.
Nightstand.
Yeah.
We found it.
And like where it just feels like it's gluttonous and it's not special when you can just go into the bag yourself and just take whatever you want. And so this whole thing made me both happy because I'm thinking about Grandma Betty when I was a kid. When we'd leave, she'd give us each like a party-sized bag of Snickers, that she just had. And we're like, no. And she's like, I got them on discount. Take them now. And she like shoves them into your hands. You can't say no. But then you get sick of Snickers before you get home because it's just too many Snickers. And so, I don't know. I guess I don't know where I was going with this exactly. It's just that the strawberry candies ultimately just made me really sad. And they're not as good as I remember. So
yes. Wow.
Well, if you got yourself the good glass, you'd be able to fill it up with those candies and make your nightstand now more attractive.
That's true.
So
yeah.
Just food for thought.
My grandmother Lillian was she would often have the Werthers, and you raise a good point, which is I don't think I had ever seen the strawberry hard candies or Werthers in a non-old person context. Like, were you carded? Like, did you have to show a fake ID saying you were 70 years old before you bought those? Because they're not a young person's purchase.
The Gloria, the cashier, did raise her eyebrows in that like suspecting way when she like rang them up, and I was like, and I yelled out, "They're for my grandma!" And then like everyone just kind of averted their eyes and looked down, and yeah. So
Mitch actually got carded because he was too young to buy the candy.
And then a little 8-year-old just said to me like, "Don't give up yet," and as I was walking out, so yeah.
My grandma Betty had her thing that she always had on hand was actually Ritz crackers in like a little plastic jar. Just yeah,
Ritz
crackers in a jar.
Crackers in a jar. She always had them ready at the go.
Did she have like a ham salad in the fridge also you could toss on that little puppy there, or like some cream cheese and a little olive?
She did. I think that she'd have like the canned pears, and And I stayed away from the canned pears, but I think sometimes she would serve them with cottage cheese, which I don't know. Maybe my sister listens to the show. She can correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, the staples, like, you know, grandma's cooking was great, but you kind of had to power through the pear cottage cheese portion before you got to the good stuff.
I mean, that was probably the 20th century, but it is the 21st century now. Why is anyone eating cottage cheese still? There's so much better cheese.
Oh, it's delicious. I know. No. I will defend cottage cheese. It is not. It is not the. What did you refer to A1 as last week? What was that? What did you say? The rat poison.
Rat poison of condiments.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Cottage cheese is the classy, dependable Toyota Camry of breakfast foods. It is. You can put stuff on top of the cottage cheese and it will get you there. Low calories, high protein, great to put fruit on. I mean, do not talk down to cottage cheese, Brian. Thank you very much. Okay, I rest my case.
I cannot wait for our cheese episode where I get to hear the rest of that rant.
All right, Brian. Let's hear your chocolate cross situation. Let's hear all about this. The candy cross.
He's not Catholic. He's not Catholic. Sorry.
No, he is not, and that is not why I'm buying this.
Don't talk in the third person. Okay, sorry.
This Easter candy, which you could definitely find year-round at a Dollar Tree, is a necessity to have on hand for if you have any religious guests coming to your home. So this is an easy treat to pull out of the drawer to ease away any spirits that might freak out the guest. And then on top of this, you get to offer it as a late-night snack to get this shit out of your house as quickly as possible, all for the low cost of $1. Now, just think of how many things you're covering with that. You're appeasing your religious guests, you're making them think like you care, and you're giving them a little treat that they get to walk away with. And you get to replenish it for $1 to put back in the drawer for when they visit again. That is the Candy Cross milk chocolate bar.
I find this a very strange idea for if you are devoutly religious, that the cross is a sacred symbol, and then you're just taking a bite out of it. Like, also there's a Bill Hicks routine where he's like, you know, when Jesus comes back, if he sees all these people just wearing a cross around, like do you think he wants to be reminded of the 3 hours he's spent up there? Like,
well, this chocolate cross makes about as much sense as remembering zombie Jesus with a bunch of eggs laid by rabbits. So I think it's fine to have a candy cross. Just nothing about this holiday makes any sense.
I think by far the best molded Easter food, you only should have it Easter, is the butter lamb. I love the butter lamb.
A lamb cake? Yeah, we're a butter lamb or a lamb pound cake?
I mean, both are good, but the butter lamb is my favorite. You get butter in the shape of a lamb. So
I've never had butter in the shape of a lamb. We have a lamb mold for the pound cake, but I've never had butter shaped
butter lamb. Is great.
That's such a Minnesota thing.
I never heard of butter lamb. I
wish that made it this far south.
I've seen the butter cow at the state fair, but I couldn't fit that on my table. That was like a life-size cow.
Now, if Easter was surrounded by a butter cow you got to keep on the table, I would be going to church every Sunday. Okay? Just to have that butter cow every year.
Oh, man.
Nathan, Brian, do you remember...
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Do you remember freshman year of college at Easter time? Me and Brad both worked at Anderson's Deli or whatever, that little restaurant. And
I remember the deli, yeah.
Yes. That Easter time, he ordered lamb cakes. And of course he over ordered because he was thinking everyone would come get a lamb cake. No one did. So me and Brett each brought home a giant lamb cake to our dorm room. I remember we had so much lamb cake. Everyone was like, I don't want any more high quality lamb cake. Get it away from me. As college kids, we're like, no more cake. Thank you.
That was a bizarre one. That whole little episode where you two worked there was just strange.
It was very strange.
We could do an episode of top 5 stories from that. There was definitely weren't you? I don't want to go too far into it. We'll save it for the future. But you were paid strictly in cash, right? There was
we were paid in cash. The cash register was a money tray with a piece of butcher's paper over the top. That was it. There was no record of anything. Yep. So
yeah, I stopped by at that place a few times, and I was extraordinarily creeped out.
Yes. And we're pretty sure the owner, he was sleeping with one of his vendors because his whole business model was don't pay anyone until you're like 30 or 60 days past due. So yeah, it was very strange. But Brad and I were treated like little princes. Everyone else was treated like crap, but we were treated very well.
Little princess. Yeah. The little deli princess.
So,
all right. Let me bring it back to the stare down here. I mean, Brian, that's an amazing find. Like, you could only find that at a dollar store. But and Mitch, I was leaning away from you when the bittersweetness of this, it was making me sad because those candies aren't as good when they aren't in the context of your grandparents or some other beloved elderly relative. But you did leap to the defense of cottage cheese for me, and I am a guy who eats cottage cheese. And I drive a Toyota Camry, and I never put the connection together. But you're right. They're exactly the same. So, Mitch, you're going to get the 3 points.
Yeah! Told you, Brian. Suck on that hard candy, asshole.
That was...
The fact that I just lost to cottage cheese is really upsetting to me.
Well, all right, Brian.
I may have to have some candy. Excuse me a moment while I get into this cross.
All right, Brian, as soon as you wipe those crumbs of the resurrection out of your beard, please give us your number 2 on your list.
Okay, so Jesus-y. Okay, now, number 2. This I have... You put that hard candy away, Mitchell. Yeah, you suck.
Oh, it makes me sad. I can't do it. Okay.
My number 2 that I feel like I can only find at a dollar store, and especially at a Dollar Tree. This is the only item on my list that is 2 for $1. 2 for $1. That is encouragement cards.
Oh.
Not birthday cards, not sympathy cards, encouragement cards. So let's take this one. Number 1. They're both super sad and for the weirdest occasion to give a card for, but alas, Dollar Tree has you covered. This one with 2 kittens on the front simply says, just wanted you to know. And the inside says, I got your back. Okay? So just in case you want to, someone who's already down, give them the saddest card you've ever found.
Is that when you find out like somebody you know has been arrested or something? Like,
I got your back. I can't afford bail, but I got your back. And then this picture of a sun that just says, out comes the sun. And then the inside says, because sooner or later, it always does. So I know times are terrible now, but this card is getting you on the way for it not to be. So there was an entire section of encouragement cards that I could not pass up. And now I have these bad boys in my drawer for a rainy day in case either of you boys need some encouragement.
Oh my gosh.
oh,
And to top it all off, they came with these bright orange envelopes. So this caution construction colored envelope will definitely
those envelopes
make it aware.
legitimately look like when you get a parking ticket in Chicago, what they come in.
Yes, it does look. I'm going to put this on your windshield and it's just going to be an encouragement card.
Well, they should. I think they should include an encouragement card with the parking ticket. You know, because you get the bad news of the parking ticket. Oh, goddamn, another parking ticket. But then, but the sun is going to come out.
Oh, after I pay it, it won't be here anymore. Sooner or later, the sun does come out. Yay!
And if you get the card, I got your back on your windshield, isn't that kind of menacing? I think I'm going to like quickly turn around to look for someone with a high-powered rifle.
Think about how misleading this kitten card is.
Yeah.
And I got your back, and then you're sitting in the back seat, and they turn around.
Oh my God.
See?
Terrifying.
So good.
Well, I mean,
So
honestly,
many
I'd probably
uses.
just pick it up off the windshield and throw it right in the gutter and stamp on it once, and then get in and drive away. So, because parking tickets don't have to be
Yeah, it's
paid.
just not like
That's just true. So,
Yeah, there's no other computer record that they exist anywhere else.
not if you're driving a
Cops
stolen
have been
car.
using one,
Sorry, what?
cops have been using one copy tickets forever. How do people not know that?
I don't know.
All right, Mitch,
Yep.
let's hear your number 2.
Sure. This one is going to be my second, quote unquote, unboxing of this podcast, and this is an absolutely essential item for when you are just a special little foodie like me, and that is a travel dressing container. Forget just using a normal, like a mason jar or this is a special travel container just for your dressing. Let me unbox it here. There we go. And it's soft, it's pliable, it's made of rubber on the bottom. This has 2 fluid ounces. That's more than enough dressing for a salad for 4, I'd say. And with this,
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yep.
I have to jump in
Sure.
quickly and give a visual description for our listeners. Imagine you've just had your appendix out and you're recovering and they ask for a urine sample. This is what you would be peeing into. That's what this looks like.
exactly.
A special little container for a special little guy.
And I get stopped at the airport all the time when I have this because they think I do have urine in a container. I say, no, that's just my mustard vinaigrette. Thank you very much. My urine is not thick. No, I'm just fine. I'm healthy enough for this flight. Please let me on. Don't mind the
What is
gun
that
in the other
milky
bag.
discharge in the...
My urine needs to be shaken before it's tested.
That milky discharge is a beautiful buttermilk ranch. Thank you very much. And so I love having this around the house. I can go to the park with this and boom, French dressing all over my French fries. I take this to the office. Boom, I have ranch dressing for my slices of pizza I'm reheating for lunch. I take this to, boom, the opera, and I've got just enough whiskey to make it bearable. Honestly, 2 ounces isn't enough, but I close it again. Boom, I take it to Grandma Betty's house. She buys shitty dressing. I bring my own homemade Caesar with anchovies. It's delicious. So there are just a million and one ways to use this by putting dressing in it. So I guess it's just one way. And whiskey too, so 2 ways. But it's my special little secret that I can keep anywhere on my body, and I always have high quality homemade dressings I can pop onto foods, to salads, cereals, snacks, whatever I need. I have a little extra flavor on me at all times. 2 ounces of it, and in a pinch, if I need to keep a sample for something for medical testing, yeah, it could work for that too. So it's got a really nice seal on it. Liquids are not getting out of here. For those at home who can't see on the video thing, there's a rubber seal at the top. So yeah, there is nothing getting out of this puppy. It's also flexible. So if it gets like someone gives you a pop on the chest when it's on the inside pocket of your coat, it's not going to break glass. So yeah, it's great.
I love the idea of you going to somebody else's home and then opening your dinner jacket slightly and pulling out this. It's like, oh no, I brought my own
Yes.
dressing. Thank you. What could be more insulting to your host?
This also, you know the guy in the commercial where he asked for Grey Poupon, that's
Yes.
me. Only
Yeah.
I pull up and say, I brought my own Grey Poupon, and I've got, I guess, 3 ways. You can put mustard in here too, not just whiskey or dressing. So,
Oh man, so many.
yeah, pretty great,
So
pretty great.
many.
And this was $1, so I think that's a big steal. So, yeah, that's it for me. Thank you very much.
Wow.
3 points, appreciate it.
Okay, Brian, I'm gonna give you 2 points because it's a great find and it's 2 for 1, but it also made me terribly sad. So I can only give you 2 points. And
Fair enough.
Mitch, that's I don't know if I should give you 0 points or 10 points because that might be the stupidest thing I have ever seen in my entire life.
What are you? What?
So,
Come on, Nathan.
I'm
I
just
know.
so conflicted
I
here.
know you love a nice poppy seed dressing over your spinach and strawberry salads, and not every place has that. So I could get you one of these too, and you can have a little friend to travel along with you. So
you know for a fact that I haven't had a salad since the Bush administration. So I'm going to give you 2 points.
wait, hold on. Which Bush administration? Oh, burn! Woo!
Wait, how's
They're
that?
both sad answers.
All right, let's close this out with our number ones, and who should go first? Oh boy, these are good ones. Mitch, let's hear your number one.
Okay, yeah. My number one doesn't need an unboxing because it came as is and it's perfect in its shape and form, and that is my number one useful dollar store find is a red spoon. This is rubber, silicone. It's got a beautiful shape to it, nice curves. There's no hard edges. It holds probably a tablespoon. It's bendable. It's pliable. It can get the corners of a container. It can mix your muffin batter in a beautiful shiny metal bowl. It's red. What does red make you think of? Red makes you stop, right? It makes you look. Red is the color of a beautiful woman's lips. Red is the color of passion. Red is the color of a bullfight. Red is the color of the blood that streams forth from your enemy's body when you've won the fight. Red is the color of the communist regime that will never take part in America. We'll never have it. Sorry. Excuse me. That's too much. That was too much. I know that's too much. But imagine this spoon floating in the air in a Matrix scene. How much better would it have been if it had been a red spoon instead of that stupid metal spoon? Red rubber is the way of the future. Look at it, you guys. Look at this beautiful shape. What is it? Oh, is it my best friend? My best friend that sits down on my shoulder and tells me, like, Mitchell, put real anchovies in this dressing, or Mitchell, call your grandma back and tell her you love her, before you can't anymore. Mitchell, make sure. Sorry, what? Oh, is this going to it? The red spoon is all that's important, okay? Bow down to the red spoon. The red spoon is king now. The red spoon is beautiful. It's art. It's everything and nothing all at once. It's my red spoon.
Well, okay, but can you describe the size for the listening audience? Because it's an odd size.
See, this is spooky. Now, these are the questions we need to look at on the internet. It's exactly the length of my hand. Wow. So that means it is probably realistically 8 inches long, but maybe it's 18 if I'm talking to someone in a bar. But
that's a conversation you've had about a lot of things, I think.
I was going to describe it as it's too big to eat with, but too small to serve with. So I'm not sure what it's for.
No, you could absolutely eat with this. I mean, this is a perfect cereal spoon when everyone's out of the house. It's just you, a white tee, pair of boxers, and a fresh box of Golden Grams and an ice cold gallon of milk.
It won't do that. It won't do that clanking noise against the bowl, so you won't wake up, whoever is sleeping.
Zero clanks.
So when someone is home, you can eat the cereal in silence, minus the chomping.
Exactly. What I like about this spoon too, if you're talking about a practical application and not just appreciating its pure, beautiful red form and its inspiring color, is that you can make great little side sauces. I love sauces, a little side sauce of, maybe it's special sauce for your burgers. This is a perfect shape and size for mixing up the special sauce, serving it. Cause it's about a tablespoon more than that at a time. And that's the perfect amount of special sauce to put on a bun. And
oh my God.
If you flip it around and hold it by the head of the spoon with your finger, maybe it's a little red laser gun and you're fighting off aliens from your kitchen, when you're waiting for your roast to finish. There's the possibilities are endless. The possibilities are endless here, you guys.
All right, that's
the red spoon.
Okay, so red spoon.
Red spoon.
Brian, what do you got your number one?
I love you, red spoon. I love you.
All right, I have to back up a little bit because mine as well also did not come in any packaging. But my number one here is something you have to get. This is a necessity. This is a good bucket. Okay? Listen to this, folks. You know that sound.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to the handle. You got to get yourself a good 101 uses for this thing. All right. This is a black variety. They also have gray. It also does not say how big it is. It's just a barcode and made somewhere, not America. And you can carry water.
That's great.
You can collect waste. You can grow food.
Wow.
But notice this is a good bucket, not a great bucket.
Sure.
Okay. A great bucket is 5 gallons. This is the good bucket. And there, again, like I said, there's no marking to distinguish how much volume is in it. But this teaches you a life skill. Trust yourself. You know how much can fit in here.
3 gallons.
You know how far you can push it. No, shut up. This is my bucket. If you want to get a good bucket, you can go get it because guess what?
That's
it's only $1. So if you're going to mop something up, like somewhere particularly nasty, like a bathroom or a dirty kitchen, hell, even a garage, you got to collect the soiled pine sol water somehow. And the good bucket has got your back, just like that encouragement card. All right. It literally calls to you, soil me. I can take it. Yeah. So you put your soiled stuff in it. And then on top of all of that, when it gets covered in the biological remnants or bits of asbestos from the kitchen tile, you just toss this mother. Boom. Boom. You toss it and you get another one because it's only $1. And guess why? That's the best thing. You get to go back to the dollar store. So what could be better than that? The good bucket. I rest my case.
Nathan, is that bucket big enough to bring all the A1 you'd need for a barbecue?
Absolutely not. But like you said, it's only $1. And, you know, if I get 10 or 15 of those bad boys, I might be ready to have 2 whole sirloin steaks.
It's also a hat, as we see Brian is now wearing the bucket as a hat.
I feel very pilgrimy at the moment.
Yep.
Okay, let's see here. Red spoon versus good bucket. I think you were both trying to kind of go for cover the same territory here. And
Nathan.
Brian, I think you're going to walk away with the 3 points.
Nathan, hold on. Nathan.
Yeah.
Your favorite films. What is the femme fatale, the siren? What are they always dressed in? Red. It's always red, right?
Can you give him 0 or 1 point so we can move on?
It's like there were no red women in The Lord of the Rings. So 1 point for the red spoon.
When I was watching
and 3 points
Lord of the Rings, a dream of mine that I had while I was sleeping during those was about a red spoon. So I think that's pretty good to remember.
All right, I must tally the scores, but first, before I do, I've got to bring back out the card of mystery.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
And nobody mentioned this phrase, which would have just triggered a lot of terrible memories for me. As you know, I used to work for a company where I was a liaison for the maintenance of a dollar store, Family Dollar. You both know how much I hated that job, and so neither of you brought it up. So I appreciate that, but no bonus point for that. So I'm going to...
But technically, we both said it the least. So...
All right, so you both get a point, and it changes the score.
That's what I wanted.
All right, you both get a point.
Ding me.
You both get 10. You both get 10 points.
Yes.
All right, well, I tally the scores. You two talk about your favorite Easter candy. Go.
Cadbury cream eggs. That is my number one. Just a little bit cold, so the cream inside isn't too runny.
I don't like white cream dripping out of my mouth, so I decided to go with Reese's peanut butter eggs. Those are mine.
That's such a trash selection because you can get Reese's all year long, no matter what. Cadbury cream eggs is a special Easter item.
You're telling me,
and guess
you're
what?
telling me
I can
that
save that
Reese's
cream and I can put it in my travel dressing container.
That's enough. So I've tallied the final scores, and Mitch, let's not forget you do get the quick math bonus point. And because of the quick math bonus point, the scores are 21-21. It's a tie. That's right. All the anticlimax of a soccer game. It is a tie.
Is that including our extra bonus points for not saying the FD? Is that 22-22?
Well, no, that was including 21-21. I gave you 10 bonus points each.
Yeah.
I might have. I thought about making it 100 even. but it would still be a tie. All right. It's time for my Fast Five, the top 5 movements of all time. Number 5. Ba-ba-ba-ba! Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, first movement. The single most recognizable musical introduction in classical music is so ubiquitous that even the most uncouth Philistine could name the composer from the first 4 notes. Legend has it that the ba-ba-ba-ba
Skrillex
symbolizes fate knocking at the door. This beautiful piece of music has been described as radiant beams shoot through this region's deep night, and we become aware of gigantic shadows which, rocking back and forth, close in on us and destroy everything within us except the pain of endless longing, a longing in which every pleasure that rose up in jubilee. All right, enough of that crap. Number 4, the Romanian split squat. A simple yet effective variation of the squat which works several major muscle groups without needing to pile on heavy weights, so it can be done in the comfort of your own living room. All you need is a sturdy chair. To do this compound exercise, lift your back leg on the chair, squat with your forward leg. You'll work your quads, glutes, hamstrings, abdominals, and spinal erectors. You'll notice quick improvements to your agility, explosiveness, and core strength, and it'll help put just the right amount of junk in your trunk. Pro tip, make sure you do equal reps with both legs to improve side-to-side imbalances. But you already knew that about unilateral exercises. Number 3, the Farmers Take Brussels movement. In 2009, more than 2,500 farmers joined this protest movement started by the European Milk Board in opposition to unreasonable quotas and the falling price of milk. They descended into the Belgian capital, blocking access to the European Union building with hundreds of tractors and trucks. This is all true. They burned hay and tires and threw eggs and sprayed milk at police, even at times, and there's a picture of this on the internet, spraying milk straight from a cow's udder at police who are holding up a shield to block it. I don't know if it brought about change, but it's definitely hilarious. Number 2, jazz hands. The ever-present movement, the campiest of camp, useful in musicals, cheerleading, dance recitals, or distracting opposing players shooting free throws. This classic dance move can be done by anyone because you don't have to have any lower body coordination. And the number 1 movement of all time, the Black Friday bowel movement. Oh, baby. That 7th slice of pumpkin pie doesn't seem like such a good idea now, does it? And that's this week's edition of Über Cinco. Our contestants today were the man with the plan to open a 5 and Dime in the Southport Corridor Shopping District,
Mitch Brinkman,
and the main entity himself from Berwyn, Illinois,
Brian Ernst.
I've been Nathan Hennenfent. As BizBear always says, don't spend it all in one place. Auf Wiedersehen and adios.
You've just listened to Über Cinco, a production of UBK Studios. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your fine podcasts from.
If you like what you hear and want to support the show, please visit our Patreon site at patreon.com/UBK Studios. Every little bit helps us keep the lights on and the bill collectors at bay.
Keep tabs on us on all the social media at UBK Studios, and most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see that we really are just a bunch of good Midwestern boys.